What's up, everybody? It's the Hardy Construction. Find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstruction, as well as facebook.com/the Hardy Construction with the host Comp and
Blue Yoshi.
And today we're talking about the
Fear the Walking Dead. What did we call this? Did we ever come up with a clever name?
No, we didn't. I don't think we're clever enough to give it a clever name. But
you know what? This one's just because Fear the Walking Dead. That's it. And this is the third episode, The Dog.
Is that what it was called, this episode?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was, I don't know. I mean, it seems like this episode, obviously it's the third episode of the spin-off series Fear the Walking Dead, which airs every Sunday night. It's for 6 episodes. It stars, everybody I always forget, that main guy who plays...
Kim Dickens, Cliff Curtis.
Yes.
Frank Delane.
Alicia Debnam Carey. And it had the additional characters playing Lorenzo James Henry playing Travis's son.
I hate that
from
fucking
a previous
kid,
marriage.
Chris.
He's such a dork.
I want to just take like a mallet, but like not a mallet that would kill him, but like one of those like hard plastic ones, just like bang him in the head with it a couple times.
Yeah, he seemed like annoying because I think initially maybe we were supposed to get sick of Nick's character, but I guess he's all right.
No,
like
Nick is fine from the first episode. He's annoying.
Although I would say Nick looks more ethnically diverse than Travis or his son. Like, there's scenes where I'll look at him, and I don't know whether it's like a
Nick looks like some like weird Johnny Depp combined with right? Leonardo DiCaprio or something weird. Like.
Yeah, but something else. There's like something about his skin color, and it's not like he looks ethnically different. Or maybe as a druggie, they just gave him a sheen of some kind of different color. He looks like, you know, the color of, ham? You know, ever seen ham and you get that sort of ham and it has like a green-blue color to it and you're like, what's going on? And it doesn't mean the
when it gets bad. Like that rainbow glisten on it sometimes?
Yeah, and I remember I would see that in a roast beef and I'd throw my whole sandwich right out in the garbage because
that's
really
like
OCD.
That's like a normal thing, though. It's not
It is, right.
It's just like some mineral thing that makes it look iridescent.
It's because I'm such an insane
You
person.
would waste an entire sandwich?
Oh, yes. I'd buy a nice big like sandwich from a deli, and I'm like, oh, yeah, rubbing my hands together, and then I'd open it up like after I got home, and then I see like that weird tint, and I throw it right out, upset.
You're a weirdo.
But yeah, Frank Delane who is the son of obviously the most awesome character of Game of Thrones. Who was that again, Danny?
Who?
He was the son of the one true king. I mean.
Oh God.
Yes, that.
Wow,
actor.
I actually can't think of it.
from
I know
Lord
exactly
of the
what you're
Thrones.
talking about. I just can't.
But anyway,
think of...
there's something. There's something up.
Something Baratheon.
Stannis Baratheon. He's the son of the actor who plays
okay.
Stannis Baratheon.
Jeez, I'm ashamed of myself. I read all the books and.
But there's something. I don't know. There's just something about him that looks like, I don't know whether it's a grime they put on. I don't know why it bothers me, but it looked like really weird when he was trying to break into the house that had the pills that were in there, I guess.
Right.
And the little girl looked at him through the window, and he looked like gray or something. Like his skin color was so strange.
Well, he's supposed to be like this sallow drug addict guy, you know?
So I guess good makeup on them, or if they're not doing makeup, this guy needs to go get it checked up for something. Anyway, so we're dealing with the rest of the third episode, which had a week off. I don't know why they did it. I don't.
Well, it's only 6 episodes. They got to drag it a little bit.
They got to drag it, I guess, for the new season of The Walking Dead that's going to come up. I love, just to talk about Walking Dead, the regular show, how funny it is, how... Can you imagine how annoying it must be for the actors? Like, they got a pretty beautiful gig going on, where they get to work on this show, and they get to act in a cult show that has good ratings, but then because the show is basically doing the same thing every season, right?
Yeah.
And then they have to do these interview junkets, and you always see the stories like, why is this season so intense? And they have to like make up some bullshit excuse. This episode,
also
this
they
season,
know that like at any moment they could die. That's
sure. I guess it is truly intense for them. But I can imagine being an actor going, they're like, so what happens this season? Well, in this season we're going to be fighting zombies. Oh, okay. Anyway, so how does this episode? You're kidding me. But how does this episode start out of Fear the Walking Dead episode 3, The Dog?
They're basically back to that riot where Travis is hiding out with the Salazar family in a barber shop. And,
who are the Salazars?
They're just, what's his name? Daniel Salazar is a barber. He's got
played by Ruben Blades.
He's got his daughter, and then what is that? His mom or his wife? I forget.
His wife. No, that was his
wife.
And their daughter, who's one of the worst Spanish speakers I've ever seen in a show. Which I don't understand. Listen,
well,
honestly,
they raised her on English. She taught herself.
No,
Spanish.
I get it. No, I speak bad Spanish as well because I was hold on to your seats, Danny, because I'm Hispanic.
Oh my God! I just
Are you
learned
quitting the
something
show?
disgusting.
Are you
about
getting out of here? I knew it. Anyway, but yeah. So, but even I know how to pronounce words. But her like delivery of the Spanish is just like it's just so bad because she like if I was to say nosotros
it's funny
tenemos un
because
problema.
you have a very different observation of it because for me, it's like I don't speak Spanish at all. So
you don't speak taco. Is that what it is?
Exactly. So I'm too dignified to speak that dirty.
I can imagine you sitting against your brother. He goes, "What are those burritos talking about?" But anyway, like if
I don't notice that she's not speaking well because it sounds fine to me. Like I don't know the difference.
Of course you would. But like if if I were to say in Spanish, we have a problem, you'd be like nosotros tenemos un problema, right? But she's like nosotros tenemos un problema, papa. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with the way she's talking? Well, yeah, it was very strange. So come on, Ophelia, chill out with that shit. Mercedes Mason. I assume she's gonna end up being a romantic interest for Frank's character, Nick. I'm just assuming. But anyway,
maybe.
So
it's too bad. It's too bad incest is illegal and stuff because that sister was pretty hot.
I don't. I was so thrown off by.
By
Nick's.
I was actually thinking about this today. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but like the idea of incest. Like if you have a baby, you'll have like a kid will have like deformities or whatever, and So is that like? Is it like natural instinct for us to avoid incest, or is it like instinctual? Or is it societal that we were raised to know it's bad?
It's probably more societal but I think there is some sort of inner thing going on because you're basically sharing the same DNA as somebody.
Like if I had a long lost sister and I met her without knowing who she was and she was hot, would I like?
There are people, fathers and daughters who didn't know each other and they end up having sexual relationships.
Well, that's karma for fucking someone that's half your age.
But there's a whole bunch of shit that goes on. I think it's probably more of a societal thing. Like I have a sister, and I'm like, oh, good lord, even the thought of it is like.
I mean, I would have sex with like a third cousin or something.
There's a lot of incest growing up with back then to keep the blood pure way back when and medieval times. Where you can order big pot roast. The actual medieval times that people would intermarry with blood relatives just so they wouldn't have any dirty mudbloods destroy the
the magic race.
Yeah, so I don't know. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I took us on such a tangent. Okay, back to this episode, which we haven't discussed one thing about it.
Danny was like talking to one of his cousins on plentyoffish.com or something. Anyway, so they're at this Ruben Blades character, his barbershop.
Yeah, I love
this.
Him. Daniel.
It's Travis, his son from his first marriage, and his ex-wife. I kind of got confused because he said something Spanish to the wife, and I was like, whoa, he's not Spanish. And then I was like, oh, okay, so his wife, Lisa Ortiz, his ex-wife, excuse me. Is she? Yeah, I think she is Mexican.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
So while they're over there with the barber and his wife and his daughter, on the other side of town is
Madison,
Kim.
Nick, Alicia.
Kim Dickens' character, Madison, with the daughter and son, and they're kind of
playing
with the wave.
They're playing Monopoly.
They're playing board games. It shows you the difference between ethnic characters in the middle of shit and white characters trying to find something fun to do. What was disturbing to me, that big riot that happens in the show, because a riot is like, just people going bonkers. It's
I think the riot's gonna not end.
Huh?
The riot's never gonna end. The riot just goes on. It's just will slowly be replaced.
I'm more interested in that. Like that was probably the most excellent part of the show is the rioting, even though it's very Hollywood sort of rioting because it's people throwing a bottle on the floor and then putting their arms up in victory. Like. Right. If you watch any of the footage of real riots, people throw shit and run. They don't just stand there and go, yeah, bro. They don't do that. And especially what's bullshit about this is the people rioting. So let's take the case of why people are rioting, right?
Right.
It was a white homeless man that got killed by the cops, that they shot him to death. And white people only riot when sports team wins. So I don't understand why they're rioting at all. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
But,
because there's dead people walking around. Everybody knows there's something wrong. It's the end times.
I don't think those people are aware that there's dead people, because there were actual cops getting eaten alive while the people were rioting. So it didn't make any sense. It was very crazy.
But people know that there's something wrong. Like, it's becoming more and more clear.
I think those were mostly opportunists. I think looking to destroy shit, because as soon as
I've never understood the concept of rioting, like, or looting, I should say, because it's like, all right, so you broke in. Well, at least in a post-apocalyptic world, like in movies and shit, it's like, okay, the end of the world. I'm gonna steal TV. Like, what?
I think rioting is obviously like where the term mob mentality came from, because people are frustrated with their lives and they need some sort of existential moment to create chaos. And then get away with it.
Get really drunk and like have a.
That's what people do. They get drunk and then they riot. That's like, just like I said, when let's say when people riot after their sports team wins or loses, like what's the point of that? They just destroy. Even if their team wins, they destroy their city. Like, well, what the hell's going on? Like, what's the point? So people are rioting here because of some bullshit reason that the homeless guy got shot. And I remember last time we spoke, I said the white people would actually dance in the streets instead of actually rioting if they killed homeless. That's what we do in New York. New York, they kill homeless people, and they disappear in the night. That's what our new mayor. Every mayor has kept that tradition. But anyway, so the whole.
Oh, New York.
It's mostly just the characters waiting inside these homes and apartments and buildings while the chaos is happening outside, and it leads to a pretty cool escape sequence. Because I guess the building next to the barbershop is burning down. And they decide to get out, and some rioters break in, and they start breaking shit for no reason. They start breaking this guy Daniel's barbershop, and
I feel like that Daniel's like pretty realistic, and Travis would be pretty realistic. Like the characters, the way they would react to these types of things,
Yeah, it seems like Daniel and Travis are probably the most realistic characters in the show for me. I think.
Yeah. I love Madison too. I actually like every character in the show except that stupid little asshole Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is a dick. Although, what was up with him when he was when he was helping the daughter? She basically elbowed him in the face. Like, she's like, "Don't touch me," because I guess she thought he was a zombie too, or she just didn't want to get touched by anybody unless it was her missing boyfriend, which is pretty fucked up. When you help somebody, they just like lash out at you. Maybe she thought it was really
tense. They've been under a lot of tension. It's understandable.
But for the most part, the meat of the episode is when Travis and company are trying to avoid all this rioting and get to their truck, which is miraculously not totally destroyed, even though everything else is.
Mm-hmm.
And
too big to flip it.
And the cops, I think they employ a water cannon, which sets over this I guess this homemade stand
scaffold. It looked like a
scaffolding. It was a scaffolding. And it falls on Daniel's wife and crushes her leg, I think, or breaks it. And
it broke her foot. It actually broke her foot.
Is it her foot? Yeah. So I guess now, I don't know what that implies. I assume that there's going to be some infection.
Well, she was saying she was going to probably get gangrene and die.
Oh, is that what she's saying? So I guess that's I guess that's the implication, that she's going to get an infection from her leg and die, and then come back, and that's going to be something that they're going to deal with later on in the show.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
they can't have like a lesbian scene between Madison and the ex-wife. Oh, well, no, that would be cool too, actually.
Or maybe all four of them. Why not?
Sure.
So I'd watch. But so while that's happening, on the other side of the coin is Madison and her kids are looking to get it. They get some guests by a dog that comes in. I guess it was a dog that was earlier.
I felt so bad for the fucking dog. What the hell?
I mean, dogs don't last really in horror films. The only time I saw a dog last was like
Cujo.
The Hills Have Eyes. No, that dog died in Cujo. In The Hills Have Eyes.
But he lasted.
The first one, where the dog actually has a vengeance on somebody else for killing another dog. It was pretty awesome, that movie.
Yeah.
The remake, I mean. I don't know about the old one. But anyway, so what's going on with what is Madison's goal in this episode?
I think she just wants to get the fuck out of here, but she can until Travis comes back.
They inspect the neighbor's house, though, right? For what?
Painkillers. guns.
Did
Oh,
they
and then
know that
see.
stuff was there, or they just kind of was checking?
I think they were
You know,
just. Well, no, somebody did mention the idea that the neighbor had a gun, but then they were looking for. They found the Asian lady. What's her name? Susan or something like.
Okay.
The zombie, and they should have killed her. And then that guy. This is the only bad writing in the episode. When the husband comes home to see his wife as a zombie. He's like, honey, I'm home. Like, it's like, there's like riots.
Yeah, that was bizarre. When her husband, the old Asian guy, comes home, he goes, oh, blah, blah, blah. My plane got stopped for a while.
It's like, you may not know that there's...
Like,
he may not know there's zombies, but
the
you gotta know that there's like fucking insane people running around killing and shit.
So the scary part for Madison and her family is that they go to this other... I swear to you, I looked away from my TV, which I thought was like a minute, and they were already in somebody else's house. And I was looking, I was like, what just happened? Because they were like in another house.
Oh, okay.
I was like, how fast does that happen? So they were in that the neighbor's house, and they were getting guns or whatever else, the painkillers, and the kid was chopping it up and snorting it. But what did you think about this episode compared to the other two?
I liked it the best so far. But the other two were necessary to slowly introduce us, because you can't just, like I said, you can't just jump into zombies, because then you're just doing The Walking Dead. It has to,
I think intro. It's slowly turning into The Walking Dead already, because I was upset because with this show, Fear the Walking Dead, what I was expecting really was almost like a traveling show. You know what I mean? Like a show where they could go, they're leaving their city.
Well,
and
I mean, the way it ends, it's like it just opened up like a whole new thing, like the army.
Well, but I mean,
we never saw the army
this one,
in Walking Dead.
What we're going into now is the contagion sequence of the show, which I don't think we've really ever seen. We have. We did see that in season
people still
5,
don't even know what's
right?
happening. Like that fucking husband that comes home thinks that there's just like some hoodlums dancing around in the city. He doesn't like understand what's happening. So
right, I thought this was really going to be more of a road trip show where you kind of see all of America get destroyed, but it's just turning into The Walking Dead, because now, when they're about to leave, the government comes in and snipes one of the zombie women and decides to contain.
Yeah,
these
but
people.
Okay, put it this way: that's how Night of the Living Dead ended.
Right,
is that the army, or not even the army, but like the townspeople, like knew what was happening and killed the zombies, whatever. But then, like, there's still, like, 5 more movies in that series showing it get worse and worse and worse. So this show could go on, like, 3 or 4 seasons before it gets to full-out Walking Dead, area.
Do you think it's good so far, though?
Yeah, I like it. I really like it. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm alone, but...
I like the scope of it. I like how big it feels compared to the regular The Walking Dead show.
It's not, like, amazingly perfect, but it's definitely, like... I will watch every episode.
I always laughed that it only seems like they only have 6 riot police every episode, because you only see like 6 riot cops every episode. Whenever they show up, It's only 6 guys hitting the.
It's the same actors, just wearing like funny eyes and googly noses and.
Yeah, I actually wish the show was more of an anthology where it jumped from other characters in different parts of the city instead of just focusing on this family.
Well, I think it will though, because we got the Salazars now. And we got his other family.
Yeah, but I mean actually other parts of the city, like somewhere else, as opposed to where this is. But I guess they don't want to give that too much away, or they don't have the budget for it. Although it looks like this show has a bigger budget than the actual The Walking Dead. But I assume why that is because I think since it's 6 episodes, they're using like a series amount of budget for 6 episodes.
Because I'm like I saw like some stupid thing like ratings slip. It's like, no, they didn't. It's a good show. Like, people like it. I don't know why they have to like sensationalize the idea that maybe like 1,000 less people watched it this time than last time. Who gives a shit? It's a good show.
Yeah, that's what I read. I read that it was like a huge dip in the numbers, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's only 6 episodes. It's not like they're I think it's probably an experiment. Although it already has a second season coming, and if it doesn't have a second season, like if the ratings still are shit, then they'll just be like, okay, that was it. That was a little experiment that we did. We don't have to bother with doing another show. I can understand having a spin-off once the Walking Dead show is done.
Even if they say they don't end it properly, like they don't get a second season and it just leaves you off like wondering what happened, they could just in next season of Walking Dead have like a cameo of like Madison or something and like 2 years later, and like
Yeah,
everyone
that's what I
else is dead.
assume they're gonna do. I think.
Although I don't know why she would be in Atlanta from LA, but maybe the army transported her there. Who the fuck knows?
Maybe she jumped really high. But I think that that since The Walking Dead, the show itself, has a couple of seasons left, sort of like I think it has the same amount of seasons left that the Game of Thrones will have.
Okay.
In
Who the
years
fuck knows
left
with
like,
that show though? Because I don't know what the hell they're doing. They totally diverted from the books in the last season.
That's because George R. Martin is like smoking $1,000 bills. He's just
Now,
smoking.
he
and
doesn't.
not
He
caring.
actually straight out doesn't care. He's acknowledged that they're separate beasts, and he's the writer.
That
for
upsets
the-
you though.
It upsets me. Not. It doesn't even upset me. It's just like, it's confusing me because I don't think they're making the best choices. Like, there's no reason for them to have made some of the decisions they made. Like, if they're good decisions, it'd be cool. Like some of the stuff they did, like the whole like, spoiler anyone, but when they had a White Walker turn a baby, like, and you find out that's what they're doing with the babies, it turned
Okay.
into, like, that's not in the book, but that was fucking awesome. So I don't care. Like, that's cool.
But I mean, in the
I don't
book, how do they have what are those guys made out of, the White Walkers?
They're very, you know, like all of the scenes with the White Walkers in the show, like, don't really happen in the books. Like, you know, maybe George Martin said that they will happen eventually,
Yeah,
but
okay,
there's
it's
no
not
like,
if
there's
it's
no
not-
like giant battles like that just yet. Like, they are like vague about it and keeping it like still building up the tension in the books. So
Fabulous. I like that show.
Yeah,
but I
okay,
think
spoiler
I think
over.
the show I think the show has a ways to go to make me want. I mean, it's only 6 episodes. I'm kind of locked in to watch it anyway. It's
Yeah.
not the greatest show because it sort of is just The Walking Dead, but it feels more cinematic in scope. And I like the
the zombies are more
size of the
creepy
show.
in this.
Right,
me.
because I just like that it's not always the fucking forest for the most part.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
more
that it's-
scary because nobody knows what it is, so it's like you're feeling that they're scared also. But
Right, so
in
I
The
like
Walking
that,
Dead,
but
it's
I
just
mean-
like, oh, a zombie, okay.
I like that it's just there's something off about the show that I can't put my finger on, but I still watch it. I mean, I'm not the fact that I'll turn away from the TV says a lot. Like if I'll watch a show, like even I watched that shitty show, The Strain. People saying it's getting better and better, and I'm like, no, it's sort of like if you were to watch The Strain, I know you would go berserk at how inept the main characters are.
Okay.
It's basically like the bad guys are like almost like fucking Carmen Sandiego because they
It
get
didn't
away
like call
every
me in that
episode.
show. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes and I was like bored and I stopped.
I think with that show, the bad guys are sort of like Carmen Sandiego because they'll get away every episode, even though they battle the main character. And there's got to be a point where it's like, come on, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have the main bad guy, meet with the good characters.
Well, they
every
need to
episode,
find
basically?
the doctor from Oregon Trail and have him track down Carmen Sandiego.
Anyway, yeah, I think this episode is decent. It's been better. It's actually better and has a lot more intensity than the first 2 episodes. So with that, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Having your druggy son choose the first piece of Monopoly.
Okay, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Having riots and pandemonium and zombies all around you and just coming home, honey, I'm home.
With that, Danny, what's the final word?
Home.
The horror deconstruction.